There's a neat little glitch you can do in Oblivion Remastered, where you can get infinite Magicka. To get started with this, you need an altar of spellmaking and an altar of enchanting. You need the Drain Magicka effect, the Fortify Attribute effect, and the Fortify Magicka effect. You also need an unenchanted item and a soul gem of any kind. In my case, I'll be using a petty. You can buy the Drain Magicka effect from Solanus Vasilis in the Skin Guard Mage Guild. You can also get the Fortify Magicka effect from pretty much any church. I got mine from the one in Skin Guard. And finally, for the Fortify Attribute spell, I got that from Edgar's Discount Spells in the Imperial City Market District. Now go to your altar of spellmakers to make the spell. Fortify Attribute first, put it to Intelligence, Self, 100, and then if you have enough restoration stat, try to give yourself a little bit of time. I gave myself 10 seconds, but you can do with 5 or less or something like that. Next, go to Fortify Magicka on Self, 100. Make sure the duration is exactly the same at 10 seconds. Now next is Drain Magicka. You need 100 once again, and then the same duration, which would be 10 in my case. Once you got all that done, give it a name that'll really let you know what spell it is, so you just don't forget, then create your spell. Next, head over to the altar of enchanting. Pick any item, doesn't matter what it is. I'll be using a necklace. Then enchant it with the Drain Magicka effect, not the Magicka damage effect. That's very important. Make sure it's Drain Magicka. Then use any soul gem to make your Drain Magicka necklace come to life. Once again, give it a nice little name so you don't forget what it is, and then head over to your magic and pick the spell that you just created and equip it. Now that's the hard part done. All that was just prepping for this moment. Now all you have to do is hold down your cast magic button, and you'll notice that even as I'm casting the spell, I'm not running out of Magicka, even if I'm supposed to be. What you need to do is just keep holding down the button indefinitely until you're happy with the amount of magic you've gotten. You have to cast this continuously. You can't tab out or anything else like that, or the effect will break. This will be leveling up your restoration stat as you go along, so this is a very quick way to get your restoration to level 100 if it's not there already. I should mention that the Magicka UI will be there forever, even at max Magicka from now on, if you decide to do this. I haven't been able to find a way to get rid of it yet, but it's not really that big of a deal, at least I don't think. But now you see, if you open your menu, you'll see you have a lot more Magicka than you're supposed to have. Right about 8,000 now. I've been doing this for about 5 minutes at this point. It will take quite a while. But once you have all the Magicka you want, I'll be stopping here at 13,000 because I'm getting bored. You go to an empty chest, press search, and put in the amulet you made, or whatever item you made, and then go down to something you have multiple of. It doesn't have to be a lot, just more than whatever you put in there. In this case, I'll be using 15 repair hammers. So you need to drag whatever item you're going to use over to the next tab, and then drop it. So you'll be in the chest, barrel, or whatever you're using while you're going to deposit the item. Just press enter twice, and then when you go back over to your amulet, you'll see you have 15 of that item. Now just back out of that menu and rest for 1 hour. Then load back the autosave that was made from you resting. Once you load back in, wait for the effects to vanish from your spell, and then when you go back into your menu, you'll notice you have negative mana. To fix this, all you need to do is go into your inventory and equip the item you duped. It'll separate from the stack like so. Then go back to the empty chest that you used, and then press search again and find whatever item you used to dupe your item. In my case, the 15 repair hammers. Drag it once more over to the next tab, and this time press enter once, and then go back to your amulet, and then click on the stack that you didn't equip, the 14 unused amulets. It'll take all of them, including the one you're using. And then when you go back into your menu, you'll see that you actually have positive mana again, a maximum amount of 13,000. Once you rest for an hour or two, you'll get all your mana back and you'll have 13,000 to spare. Now you can go around casting as many spells as you want, or even making one big spell that does like 5,000 mana or something. Alright, so you can do this on both console and PC. However, console has its fair share of bugs. When you go to the Fortify attribute, sometimes you can't switch what attribute you want to fortify, which is very upsetting because it's very important that you use intelligence instead of something like strength. But if you are doing this on console, you just have to back out of the menu a few times, maybe reload your game, and you should be able to do that, but it is very buggy, so I didn't want to waste my time fiddling with that. But now I'll be showing you how to duplicate that item on console, since it is a bit different than PC. So once more, put whatever item you want to duplicate into the chest. In this case, it would be your amulet. And then find any item that has a higher number than whatever you put in. And then press A and RB at almost the exact same time. RB has to come just a bit after A. You know you have gotten it correct because there will be the LB button telling you to switch over to your other inventory while the pop-up is on the screen as well. And then you just press A once and then once more to pick up the item. You can just press A twice, it doesn't really matter, but it's just not necessary to spam A. And then that item will be duped. And then you can do it once more without any item in the inventory whatsoever. Press A once, go over to any item you want to duplicate. In this case, I'll do some boots. And then those boots will be duplicated. You can do this with any item. Let's try the Amulet of Kings. You can do the Amulet of Kings. When you do the Amulet of Kings, and my game crashed. Patrick Stewart censored what I was going to do to his amulet, and he said, "Nah, man, what the fuck you doing?" And he bombed my Xbox. That man said, when I'm helping somebody, don't stand around with my hands in my pockets looking like I'd rather be anywhere but here. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll respond as quick as possible. So yeah, that's about it. Until next time.